Welcome to the Team Engagement Podcast, where leaders of teams share their insights. We discuss 6 questions in 9 minutes because leaders know how to be concise. We'll go ahead and get started with our guest today. First question, in a few sentences, let us know or tell us who you are and what you do.
I'm Kristen Judge, the CEO and founder of the Cybercrime Support Network, and our mission is to serve individuals and small businesses impacted by cybercrime.
I suspect you've been a little extra busy these last little while.
We certainly have job security if you work in cybersecurity, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's the good and the bad with that. Well, question number 2, what's the best thing about working with the team?
For me, I've been really surprised at how much I love being able to create a culture where people want to be in our organization. So I didn't realize how much I would gain from building a culture in a place that I would want to work at.
I like that answer. Culture is a big part of the workplace environment these days, and so I'm glad that you've latched on to that idea of having a great culture. So good for you. Thanks for sharing that. Question number 3, I hear from other leaders of teams that it can be a challenge to get team members engaged. Tell us your thoughts.
So we are an all virtual company, and we've grown from 1 person to 30 in about 2 years. But what we do is, because we're all virtual, we always use video conferencing when we have internal meetings. So we're on the phone and seeing each other in these virtual meetings every day. We'll have team lunches just to sit around and talk. We have a team happy hour once a month. So you can stay engaged and really keep people interested and connected, even if you're virtual.
Great comments. I completely agree. It's just a different way of thinking. So I like that a lot. Question number 4, what other piece of advice do you have for leaders of teams?
Servant leadership. I cannot stress enough how much this has just helped our company grow. We are not a top-down organization. As the CEO, my first question when I get on a call with anyone on our team is, what can I do for you? And we are all here to serve the victims of cybercrime. But as the leaders in the organization, our executive team is there to serve the people that work and report to them so that they can be successful. And that really fits my personality. I didn't know how much, but people will work harder and harder on any team if they feel like their voice is valued and that they aren't, 7 people down in an organization, so they really don't have a lot of voice. Everybody's voice counts. At the end of the day, I have to make big decisions because that's my job, but everyone's voice is important in that decision-making process.
Those are great comments. I really like that part about making sure everybody's voice counts. I think that's because you're right. You have to make the decisions, but nonetheless, to give people that opportunity to weigh in a little bit is so critical to engagement. I think it's a great comment. Question number 5, what other successful leaders of teams would you like to recognize that have had a positive influence in your life?
Well, this is an easy one for me. You can look up Presidential Leadership Scholars. That is a program that I was so honored to be a part of in the 2017 class. There's about 300 alumni now, and these are leaders from all over the US that were chosen by former presidents to make a difference in our communities or around the world. So you can pick any one of the Presidential Leadership Scholars. All the scholars are listed on the website, and they are truly my inspiration in leadership.
That's fantastic. And you were a part of that group in 2017 then?
Correct. We got to meet with the former presidents and their top officials and learn about decision-making from where they sat in the White House.
Wow. Congratulations. That's fantastic.
Thank you. It was life-changing.
I'm sure it was. Question number 6, last question. Tell us about your first job.
This is great to think back. So when I was 16, my dad told me I was not allowed to get a job because he wanted me to focus on school. So I snuck out the day I turned 16, and I got my first job anyway because I wanted to be independent. And I worked at the movie theater at the mall, and we didn't have cash registers, and I was in the concessions. So think about someone nowadays. We had to add all that up, all the money, everything was cash in those days too, way back. I don't want to date myself too much, but I was a concession girl at the movie theater at the mall near my house.
And how long were you able to pull that off without your dad finding out?
Not very long, because then I got to help with my car payment, but he couldn't turn it down once I started doing it.
That's great. I like that story. That's a fun one. Well, thanks for sharing that. And Kristin, thank you also for being on the podcast today. How can people find you?
My LinkedIn is really a great way to connect with me. It's Kristin Judge, Tin for Kristin. And I really am on my LinkedIn a lot. I found it as a really good resource to connect with people. So they can reach me there.
Fantastic. This is Sean Richards with the Team Engagement Podcast, where leaders of teams share their insights. For more ideas, you can find us on LinkedIn by searching Blue Sky Business Consulting. Thanks for joining us and have a great day.